What's going on, guys? Cannon here. And in today's video, we're going to be going over how any remodeling company can add seven figures in annual projects using power partners, artificial intelligence, and customer funded acquisition. And this is all without using third party lead vendors, spending all day calling all the leads yourself, competing on price, or dealing with low quality handyman clients. So, who this is for in the first place? Well, this is for remodelers making anywhere from 250 to 5 million per year and are actually ready to scale. And it's for remodelers who want to acquire more high-end projects and position themselves as an authority in their service area. And it's also for remodelers who want to scale their company without risking their cash flow. Now, here's just a little bit of proof of kind of our process and the whole concept. And so you'll see right here, 1 million in pipeline value in under a month. And we kind of have our lead results right here from our campaign. So you'll see 29, 28, 30, 27, 23, $22 leads, $5, 26, 15, 26, 31. And so this is just a little bit of proof of what I'm actually showing you guys here. And so Kevin, he was able to turn $1,500 in ad spend to 3 contracts totaling $138K in his first month of using this system and process, and 79 new remodel opportunities in 34 days. And by the time you're watching this, he's probably closed even more now. And then we also have Scott. He's a remodeler down in Irvine, California. And his company went from 500K per month to over 1.2 million per month, and able to get 4 kitchen projects all above 100K plus in 60 days. All right. And then here's further proof. So you'll see kind of how we're able to get remodeling leads for so cheap, $22, $32. And right here is our sales agents calling all the leads and giving the notes. And yeah, let's see, 79 leads, 2 million in pipeline value. Some more notes, looking for an in-home consultation because she wants to remodel her kitchen. All of their info right there. You see $5, 26. But yeah, I think you get the point of what we do. So what problem are we actually solving? So if you're a remodeler or a design builder and you want to acquire more high-end contracts and you want to attract high-value premium clients who are willing to pay top dollar for your service, and you want to position yourself as an authority in your service area without adding extra admin work to your plate, because I'm sure you're already busy with all the stuff you got going on currently. So if you feel like you have to compete on price in order to get the job, if you feel stuck doing handyman work with poor quality leads, if you've been endlessly posting on your social media, not only on your company page, but your personal page as well. You're trying to brand yourself as the company as well, trying to get interested leads. And if your best business still comes from word of mouth and referrals, but it's just not enough and it's not reliable, it's not predictable, you've tried putting money into paid ads, whether it was social platforms, search platforms, podcasts, Spotify, whatever, or, maybe you boosted posts, got a lot of clicks, maybe you got a lot of likes, but few conversions, little to no people actually interested in an appointment or actually getting a project done with you. Maybe you're wearing too many hats. You're unable to delegate effectively. You're on Jobber all day doing all this admin work. If you're relying on third-party lead vendors like Angie, Thumbtack House, and you're stuck in a 12-month contract and you're getting all these fake and shared leads that's shared with 10 other people, and now you're just competing on price. And if you want to create a real in-house project generating machine that takes care of your pipeline and the homeowners are more pre-framed to your process, and really it won't stop generating results. It'll continue generating results for however long you plan to be in business. All right. And so what we're going to go over is how to reduce the cost to acquire a customer, how to improve your profitability per customer, how to scale your business without putting your cash flow at risk, and how to reduce that slippage from lead to scheduled estimate to signed contract. I talk to a lot of remodelers and some of them say only 10% of the leads that come in actually book an appointment. And so we're going to be going over how to reduce that slippage and how you can even get up to an 80% booking rate, which some of our clients actually get, and really how to outmarket your competition and become dominant in your area. Because guys, the game of acquisition is really about who can spend the most to acquire a customer. And so how you really do that is you either increase the profitability per customer, so you're able to spend more to acquire that customer, or you reduce the cost to acquire that lead who turns into a customer. All right. And so we're going to go more in depth of what that actually looked like. But really first, let me introduce you to myself. So my name is Cannon. I'm a young vet out of Texas, and I'm the founder of Digital Favor, where we work with remodelers and design builders to build them a lead gen and project generation machine that'll produce them results forever. And so, I may not be able to build a kitchen. I don't know how to build a bathroom. I don't know, how to do an addition whatsoever. But for the past year and a half, I've been perfecting really an acquisition model that reliably gets remodelers more kitchen, bath, and addition projects specifically. So unfortunately, if you're a commercial design builder, this isn't for you. This is specifically for remodelers who want to get more of these types of projects right here, which really we've gotten good at. And so what I wanted is, predictable growth to remodeling companies while needing very little effort on their end to achieve results. So all done for you, not some coaching program. You go through these modules, one group coaching call per week. None of that, all done for you. Very little effort on your end. And, I did this because I noticed a lot of contractors don't have their own system to generate leads, and they heavily rely on these third-party lead vendors. And so, if these third-party lead vendors all of a sudden went out of business or something happened or they doubled their costs, what would you do? It really means that they kind of own you as far as your lead gen system go. And so, you're not able to own that attention and really monetize it. So really the old way is having no leverage when it comes to leads and risk scaling for decreased cash flow. You can't outmarket your competitors due to cost per acquisition and outdated strategies. And the increasing competition and low barrier to entry is what's decreasing remodel profits every year, because any guy who started yesterday can go on to Angie, bid the same homeowner that you just bid for, a massive decrease in costs, and they can go with them. And now you just wasted all that time. And so, every contractor is using the same methods to acquire clients. So really, how can we create the most attention and get premium clients while using the most leveraged strategies? And really, how can we be different? This is kind of the new way of what we've developed here at Digital Favor. And it's really what I've been working on for the past year and a half. And so this is the broad overview of it. And you see, guys, really what this is about is creating attention and traffic, owning that attention and the nurture sequence, the qualification and sales process, and then the cash collected. All right. And so really where most people mess up is they don't even know how to first generate that attention and traffic. All right. And then even worse, they don't know how to actually own those leads, that attention. And so really step one in this is the first thing that we need to do is first off, build a database of warm leads. All right. And so that we can tap into those warm leads. And then we also need to create an atomic offer so that we can be different. We can stand out from the competition. So using direct response marketing, we can build that database of warm leads to nurture. All right. And so the traditional way of remodel advertising is, licensed and insured. We can build your dream kitchen. We've been in business for so-and-so years, blah, 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 blah. Nothing special, nothing unique. They've heard it before. And, it kind of matters how long you've been in business, but not really. Most homeowners do not care. And so, maybe you've tried boosting posts, running brand awareness campaigns, and it just didn't work. All right. And so really the new and improved is running a lead generation campaign that is a value-based lead magnet. And this lead magnet has to be something valuable enough that people are willing to give their name, email, and phone number to us so that we can build that database of interested prospects. All right. So, saying you're licensed and insured and we've been in business for 30 years, is that really something valuable enough where a cold, complete stranger is going to give you all their contact information, what they're looking for, if they're the homeowner, their address, their zip code, all of this? Probably not really. So later down the road, I'm going to kind of show you what that lead magnet looks like and how to make it valuable enough that you can actually get people to give you that information. You can get leads for a lower cost. So before we dive into that, here are some bad offer examples. And, some of these, they might not be bad, but they're just outdated, or they're nothing new. They're not unique. And you just look the same as everybody else. And so the first one is free estimate. Now, it's not bad to offer free estimates. It's actually good, but I see a lot of remodelers base their whole offer on a free estimate. That's their Uno card. That's their atomic offer is, oh, we offer a free estimate, which it's better than the guys out there charging, $500 estimates because nobody wants to pay for something that's free. Even your wealthy clients don't want to pay for something that should be free. All right. And so what else is $500 off remodel? Now, $500 off, it's really not that much, especially for a project that's going to cost them, anywhere from $25 to 100K and beyond. It's nothing special. It's really like, oh, $500. And the same can be sent for 10% off a kitchen or bathroom model. It doesn't hook their attention. It doesn't stand out. And then another one, which I've actually seen, is refer a friend and get a $150 gift card to a steakhouse. Sure, you can have this, but if this is your main angle, it's not going to work. Yeah, it's just lazy, and it's just not that great. And so here's how we craft our atomic offers to really separate our remodel clients from all the other competition. So I spent tens of thousands of dollars in advertising to come up with this framework and offer structure to book you more in-home appointments and get you more premium clients. And so the great thing is, once you have your proven atomic offer, everything else falls into place, as it does most of the work. You can have crappy sales, you can have a crappy creative. Maybe it's like, some unfinished project, and maybe your finger is in like the top corner. You can have crappy copy, but as long as you have a good offer, everything else falls into place. And so with atomic offers, you'll be able to stand out from your competition and actually charge the highest price from your perceived value. All right. And so most remodelers rely heavily on their years in business, licensed, insured, blah, blah, blah. But here's the problem. The homeowner expects you to keep their promise, because quality of the build, of course, matters. But if everybody is promising the same thing, how are you supposed to compete other than price? One guy says, oh, we the same for a little bit less. And the next guy goes, oh, we can do that same thing for a little bit next. And it's just kind of this hamster wheel where at the very end, there's no more profit to be made and you're actually in the negative. All right. And so if everybody's the same, that's really your only choice to compete on price. And so understanding the formula for atomic offers. Now, it needs to be unique, different from everybody else in your target market. Nerve, it directly answers the client's pain point in the decision journey. And it needs to be a tangible and measurable benefit. So the image you see right here is Alex Hormozy's graph of the value equation. Now, this relates more to B2B or service-based businesses. And so kind of what I came up with is, this is the remodeler's value equation right here. And so it's price times dream credibility, or dream outcome credibility, divided by speed and effort. And so the first one's right here. You want to make these as high as possible. You want to make the dream credibility amazing. Obviously, you want your credibility to be great. And then the speed and effort, you want to keep these as low as possible. And so kind of just to start from the top down, all right, price, there's no strategic benefit with being the second cheapest. There's not. And that's why I actually recommend our clients to be the most expensive out there. And, a lot of people worry about that, but later down the road, we'll get into how to get the homeowner to value expertise over price. All right, dream outcome, we covered that. Measurable benefit. Are you actually able to fulfill on your contract? Are you actually able to build it? Or are you going to quit on them halfway through? All right, your credibility is your reviews and testimonials. So not so much how long you've been in business, not necessarily if you're licensed and insured. Everybody expects that. Everybody knows that you are. All right, so your reviews and testimonials, when they go to your Google My Business page, do you have, 2 reviews that say, great job or great work? Or, do you have 56, and maybe they say, we were skeptical at first. We didn't know who to look for our kitchen remodel. We chose John Construction, and, he was super helpful, guided us through the whole process, gave us a great quote. And at the very end, they even cleaned up for us. Or maybe, you do this massive unraveling. All right, there's a before and after. And when the homeowner comes in, maybe they're blindfolded or something, and, they take off the blindfold and they're just stunned by the work that you provided. That's really your credibility. Do you stand out in that sense? And then speed. All right, the pros rely heavily on speed. All right, speed to lead, speed to design, speed to contract, and speed to completion. All right, and really why speed is really the X factor in this value equation is because, a gym membership, it costs what, $25 per month, whereas a tummy tuck or some sort of liposuction, the doctor can charge $5K. All right, because it's instant. It's the definition of speed. All right, and so if you could build a remodel in a blink of an eye, in under 24 hours, you could really charge however much you want. And that's why, these doctors are able to charge up to $5K. It's because the person goes to sleep, they wake up and they've lost all this weight. They look completely new. All right. And so effort and hassle. All right. That involves communication, thoughtfulness, and how you're going to set up the job to be the least hassle in the client's life. All right. Because the client has probably heard from a friend or a relative that, a contractor came in, they did a remodel and their house was a war zone for like 3 to 6 months. And it was a complete nightmare, and it interfered in their life. And, maybe the subs left Coke and empty Gatorade bottles all around, and it just looked like a mess. All right. Be thoughtful, and, just don't leave empty Gatorade and Coke bottles when you're doing the project. So that goes with don't just tell them, actually show them. All right, so here are some better lead magnet and offer examples that we use in Digital Favor for our clients that get us insane results. So first one, free budget and concept design consultation to make sure your project stays within budget and doesn't go past deadline. All right, and so this really, the free budget and design consultation, how we frame it is we want to make sure that it stays within their budget. There's no change orders. They're not going to break the bank doing this. And then the concept design consultation, that's not necessarily a actual design agreement. That's just based on what they answered in the lead magnet. We show them previous projects that could relate. And so they can kind of visualize what the project's going to look like, make sure that this is something they actually want to do before planning and construction actually start. All right. And so with that, we can say, try our free 30-second remodel quiz and get a free 3D visualization of your project. Now, I understand a lot of you won't offer free 3D visualization of your project, and so you can easily swap that out. But I know some of our clients here, they actually offer that, so that's great. And then 30-second remodel quiz, we're tapping into that speed again. And so with that remodel quiz, they can answer a couple questions, we get their info, and then really that's the lead magnet. That's how they become a lead. All right, another one is try our free kitchen calculator tool to get an instant quote within 45 seconds. If the estimate works for you, we will offer a free concept design of your new kitchen so you can visualize what it will look like before you start, all for free. All right. And so really with that one, it's similar to the ones above, but I'll show you kind of what the calculator looks like. And it really allows the homeowner to get an accurate idea of what this project is going to cost. And, if it works for them, then yeah, they'll submit their details and you can get that free concept design for them. But if it doesn't work, no harm done. It's really making this as least friction as possible. All right. And so another one, kind of a direct response offer, is we are the only design build remodeler within 500 miles that will provide a free budget and concept design, won't mark up our materials, beat any credible bid by 1,000, complete your project in under 30 days, or we'll give you a $200 Amazon gift card. That's just kind of like a huge atomic bomb right there. But with the under 30 days, if it's an addition, obviously you're not going to complete that in 30 days, but maybe if it's a kitchen or a bathroom, it all depends on the scope of project really. And also you got to take into account permitting and all the other stuff. But I'm just giving examples here. And so where do we put these atomic offers? All right. And so we're going to use online platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, and Google to drive conversions and turn those conversions into new contracts. So you might be wondering, why don't I use Nextdoor, or, there's podcasts, Spotify, there's all of these, there's Snapchat, there's TikTok, Pinterest, there's all of these algorithms and platforms available to you. And so the reason we kind of choose Facebook, Instagram, and Google is both companies, because Instagram is owned by Facebook, both of these companies have developed the most AI algorithm where they know where to put your ad and where to put your campaigns in front of your ideal clients. All right. They make it super easy. And the great thing is these are branded, exclusive, and new. All right. And so they're not handing you a database of old recycled junk and it's 2 years old. These are branded to you. You're able to advertise on your page and again, they're new leads. All right. So when we use these platforms, we're able to extract more information about what the client is looking for while building a brand and process. So like a huge side effect of actually advertising, and what we've noticed with our clients is they actually build a bigger brand in the process, because with advertising, the prospect, they're on the platform, they're going through content, and you kind of act as that interruption. All right. And they keep seeing you. And then soon, maybe they decide to follow you. They might not convert on that first time, but if they see you, if they even click your profile, then they start to get retargeted. And that really opens up doors for later down the road when they are ready to, get that free concept design, for example. All right. And so the great thing is the longer the campaigns run, the better the AI algorithm learns who to put your offer in front of. And so where most remodelers and even agencies go wrong is we need to understand most of the homeowner's knowledge of construction and remodeling comes from HGTV. And so I hear all the time from contractors is that, Facebook ads don't work. We've tried in the past. We got a whole bunch of handyman leads, nobody converted and whatnot. And it really just goes down to this calculation here. And so in order to understand which platforms are going to give you the most return on investment, we need to understand the client's buying journey. And so only 3% of the remodel population is thinking, I have this project in mind. I know what it's going to cost. I have a design in mind. All right, who's credible to bid this job? That's only 3%. And on Facebook and Instagram, it's probably even less than that. Don't get me wrong. Like sometimes you will run into that. Our clients have in the past, and it's great. It's like such an easy sell, but we have to be realistic. 97% of the remodel population is thinking, okay, do I want to remodel? What do I want to remodel? What's the design going to look like? What's this going to cost? And then finally, after all of those, they ask, all right, who's credible to bid this job? So when they go through the first step, they might talk to a realtor. What do I want to remodel? All right. That's when they might talk to a architect or, designer. And then what the design is going to look like, they might talk to a designer. What's this going to cost? Again, they might talk to a contractor. They might not, or they might go online and look at, the average renovation costs of, 2023 or whatever the year is. And only then finally, who's credible to bid this job? Will they go speak to a contractor? All right. And so really this 97%, especially on Facebook and Instagram, they're up here. And this is like really the big advantage of being a design build remodeler is because we're able to capture them at an earlier stage of the client buying journey. And most will think, that's not good. I want like people who are ready now. And, to kind of, go against that is, we're able to handle them at an earlier stage of the buying journey. And, with them talking to a designer, that designer is just going to draw up whatever the client dreams are. And the same with an architect. The architect might draw up some pictures that's going to actually be way out of the client's budget because, that's what that's like really what their motivation is. And so how we kind of combat that to, guide them through this buying journey in the remodel is remodel quizzes and project calculators. All right. And so I'll get into this into a second, but how annoying is it to go to a homeowner's house, give an estimate, and they thought, oh, I thought this was going to be just 10K. All right. And so as I mentioned, they're perfect for capturing them at an earlier stage because as I said, you're able to control the client buying process all the way through. And so for the targeting, I'm not going to show you or tell you how to set up a Facebook business manager or how to set up a Facebook and Instagram ad. You can go look up a tutorial for that. But for the targeting, for most cases, just use age 30 to 55. All right. The reason for that is because these are the prime earning years for the homeowners. The reason you don't want to do above 55 is, especially what I found a lot, the 65 and plus people, they might actually have the money, but they're just not as committed to the project. All right. And then you want to use broad interests. All right. And so like if you're in an area such as like Eugene, Oregon, or an area where it's not super dense, you don't want to use all these crazy interests and all these, crazy targeting, because then you're just going to lower the population of who can actually see your ad. All right. And the only exception to this is super dense populations like New Jersey or Boston, New York, LA. That's really the only exception because as I mentioned before, these AI algorithms actually want you to win. So you'll spend more money on that platform and in turn you get even better results. All right. But for those few examples like New Jersey and Boston, what you can do is use the same age range, but for the entrance, you can put interior design, HGTV, home decor, home remodeling, and then you can put top 25% of income. And so that way, Facebook's and Instagram's algorithm, they don't have to spend as much money to actually find your target audience and which people are actually going to convert on your ads the most. All right. Because as I mentioned, they want you to win and they have those advanced algorithms. All right. So the framework that we really use to get those $15 to $40 remodel leads, which I already showed you proof of, is exactly this. So it first starts with an audience call out. Now, this audience call out it's how we usually frame it is the location homeowner. So if I was advertising in Boston, it'd be like, hey, Boston homeowners, or hey, San Diego and surrounding area homeowners. All right. And so that way, when they see that, it's like, oh, yeah, that's me. They raise their hand. And then the introduction to offer, what we usually say is, we're looking for so and so amount of homeowners who may be interested in upgrading their kitchen or bath, or who may be interested in adding a home addition, and so on. I'm not going to give you the exact copy and scripts that we use because I'm sure there are, funnel hackers who are going to be watching this video. But, moving on, we have scarcity. And so you don't want to, overdo this, but, we usually like to sprinkle in, this month only in there or for a limited time. And then you want to go over really the benefits of why, they might even be interested. So the benefits, you can really get creative with this. You can say, free estimate, free budget and concept design, 3D visualization with our technology, a customized kitchen or bath that'll last generations to come, the best reviewed and award-winning remodel team in Irvine, California, and then the desire. So why should they take action now instead of just continue doom scrolling on the platform? And so what you could say for this is like, in less than 4 weeks, you can have your dream kitchen. There's no better time to start than now. And then the CTA for this, you can say, what I like to do is do steps. So, you need to guide them through what's the next steps. What do they need to do next in order to get that free budget and concept design or have that in-home design consultation and whatnot. And so, you can say, step 1, click the link or click learn more below now. Take our 30-second kitchen estimator. And, if the quote works for you, then, we'll offer a, free budget and concept design. Or you can say, step 1, take our 30-second remodel quiz. Step 2, schedule your design consultation at no cost to you. And then urgency, you can just throw gasoline on the fire there, say offers available for, 10 spots only, or, PS, these slots get taken up fast. So claim yours before it ends. And so, as I mentioned before, with the remodel quiz and the project calculators, this is what it looks like. So this is an example of a kitchen estimator we did for a client. And so in this kitchen estimator, there are 19 questions in total. And I realized that with each question, there's a higher probability that the prospect is going to click off the ad. And so these leads, I'm going to be honest with you, they're going to be more expensive. They're going to be anywhere from $30 to $80 leads. But really the advantage of this is, they're in the area. Maybe you're in New Jersey, so they're in the top 25% of income. They said yes to owning their home. They went through all these questions, yes, I want to replace the flooring plan. I want this faucet, this sink. I want drywall, blah, blah, blah. That's really the questions that they're answering. And as they continue answering those questions, depending on, the style or what they answered, the instant quote, as you'll see right here, it keeps going up. And so at the very end, they'll be brought to this, would you like a free concept and design from one of our designers? And as I mentioned, that's really just an in-home consultation framed as something special. Atomic offers are sometimes they're not necessarily what you exactly offer, but how you actually frame it. And so they see this, for example, 116K instant quote, and they click yes and then fill out their information. I'm going to leave this up to you, but in your opinion, would you count that as a qualified lead? A person who knows what this is going to cost. They see a 6-figure budget and they said, yes, I would love professional help with my project and would love to go over a concept design. All right, so that's the kitchen estimator. Now, the leads on these are going to be way more expensive, but still the return on investment and payoff is great. Now, here's like one example of the remodel quiz. So this is really only 3 questions, and at the very end, we get their contact info. And that's really just to get a broad understanding of their project, not necessarily to get their budget or anything like that. So, the first question we'll ask, are you the homeowner? What's the scope of your project? Kitchen, bath, addition, whatever type of client you're looking for. And then we'll ask, what's the timeline of the project? Is it as soon as possible, next 30 days, a few months from now, just getting ideas, so that way you can kind of understand where they're at in the client buying journey. And then we'll get their contact info. And for those results, you can expect anywhere from $15 to $35 leads, as I showed you above earlier. All right. And so using this framework, this was Scott, a remodeler in Irvine. Before he was getting I think on average, that's around $175 per lead. All right. And it's a worse lead because all they were getting from this is the contact info. But after using this framework and this process, $2 million in added pipeline value. And on average, they were getting $25 per lead while asking the homeowner more questions, getting more qualified leads. All right. And so for the creatives, a little kind of bonus is always use collages, before and afters, or videos. With before and afters, you got to be careful with Facebook's policy, but as long as it's nothing like crazy, or you don't slap on like before and then after, you should be good. But really, collages is going to be great. And using collages, we get around 5% click-through rate. So 1 out of every 20 people actually click on the ad, which is pretty insane to think about, especially for an ad. And now going over the other platforms, Google and Bing, that's where they're thinking, okay, who's credible to bid this job? And that's where you can point those other offers to that traffic. Because as I mentioned before, a lot of remodelers will say, Facebook and Instagram doesn't work. But the problem is they're pointing the traffic that's supposed to be going to Google onto Facebook, all right, where they're just not there yet. So keep that in mind, all right? And so, it becomes super hard for other remodelers to compete with you when you're getting $30 qualified leads, all right? Really hard, because customer acquisition is a game of who can spend the most money to acquire a customer. And so what you do is you make the customer more valuable by increasing prices, by having that atomic offer being the fastest, most convenient, best reviewed, least hassle to the homeowner, and therefore increasing profits to fund getting your next customer. All right. And so, doing this, you'll build a brand. All right. You'll also separate yourself from the other guys charging those $500 estimates that everybody hates. All right. And so number 2, really what we take care of is figure out how to generate those leads cheaper. So not only are those leads cheaper, but we're also getting them at a higher price. All right. And really formulating this all together, it's really hard to compete. And honestly, good luck competing with somebody in your area who's doing this. All right. So that's just kind of building a database and going over a atomic offer. Now, step 2 is all about owning the attention and really nurturing the leads. And so marketing and advertising are just one piece of the puzzle. So if you don't want to be ghosted or spend all day being left on voicemail, the key is in the follow-up and nurturing process. So just as we mentioned that speed plays a significant role in your offer, speed to lead means that the sale and the project goes to the vendor that responds the quickest. All right. So even though we're getting them at an earlier stage of the buying process, we still need to really stress on that speed to lead. All right. Within the first 5 minutes. All right. At least at least the first 5 minutes. Obviously not right away. You don't want to scare them, but here are just some studies just to kind of stress on that. So 75% of leads go to the vendor that responds first. Following up within 5 minutes makes you 9 times more likely to engage with them. After 30 minutes, the probability drops to 80%. Those that attempted to reach leads within 1 hour were 7 times more likely to have a meaningful conversation with the decision maker. And only 37% of remodelers respond within the first hour. And here's a little something that, 77% of Americans said that they don't pick up the phone if they don't recognize the number. And so why I bring up this stat is we're going to be going over really our texting and emailing nurture sequence. And now a sales hacker study found that a prospect needs at least 8 touch points to book an appointment. All right. You need to have 8 touch points with them just to book an appointment, not even, close a contract or have a design agreement. All right. So how are we going to structure our lead nurturing process so that we can be the vendor that, gets the sale, and we can be 80 times or 80% more likely to have a meaningful conversation? So this is Digital Favor's Wildfire Sales Spree. This is what we use. And so step 1 is having American-based internal sales agents calling your leads for you within 5 minutes. So instead of bleeding your fingers dry trying to call, text, and email all your leads, we're going to use AI and automation to outsource the entire process and 2x the amount of appointments you get. And so these sales agents are going to act as kind of the double qualifier. So you can stop wasting time with tire kickers and only be on the phone with homeowners who actually want to have that in-home appointment with you. And so once you get them on the phone from the American sales agents, they're much more likely to never ghost you. And this always also frees up time on your end, because I'm sure you don't want to be a call center. Now, this is different if for remodelers and remodeling firms who already have a team to call those leads. The American-based sales agents, that's really for guys who really don't have that big team just yet. Because one of my first clients, we were getting 50 leads per month, and I was thinking, oh, this is going great. We're crushing it. And then he calls me and he says, yeah, like we're getting too many leads, basically. and he doesn't have time to call all these leads. And, it's just money being left there. And so that's why we introduce American-based sales agents to call your leads for you within 5 minutes and leave a voicemail if they don't answer. And so, even with calling, that's just not enough, because as I mentioned that stat, 77% of Americans don't pick up the phone. And so we're also going to use automated texts and emails across a 12-month time span. So have you ever followed up with a lead, maybe send a text message or two, and then not only do they ghost you, but you completely lose them in your pipeline? And so can you really expect yourself or your employees to not only remember to follow up, but update your CRM, add notes on the lead, call them, and remember which days to properly follow up? All right, that's a lot to ask, and it's a lot of like manual action that you could just simply automate. All right, and so this is going to eliminate that for you without having to lift a finger. So you can use softwares such as Go High Level or our own software, Digital Favor. I'm going to be transparent; it's the same exact thing. But if you haven't heard of it before, it's a simple CRM software, but you're also able to build automations and actually do texts. Whereas HubSpot, unless they did an update, I don't believe they offer text. They just offer the email marketing. And so really like why we use a CRM that has the ability to text the leads is 98% of texts are read, whereas 20% of emails are read. And so, persistent follow-up is annoying. It's tedious. It's difficult, but it's absolutely necessary to get results. People are busy. Kids are late for school. Work gets crazy. And so that's why you really need to be ruthless with these follow-ups these days to get clients. Because, as time goes by, the attention span of the population keeps going down. And so thankfully, in recent advancements in AI are allowing you to automate 90% of the follow-up through ChatGPT. And so, maybe you've heard of chatbots before, but essentially, we can program the AI to send them qualifying questions. And then once they're qualified, send them a booking link for them to book an appointment in home or over the phone. And so even with automated follow-up, where most people don't connect with the homeowner is they don't connect with them over budget and going past deadlines. So this is how we educate remodel leads to value expertise over price, which I mentioned in the step 1 section of this video. And so we use Katie, the name of our AI assistant, to ask, could you give me a general ballpark of when you would like your project completed, cleaned up, and delivered to you? Because nobody will, maybe they might have an exact date, but I assume that 90% of people won't have an exact date of when they would like that project completed. All right, so then we have timeline. So may I ask if there's a specific event or need driving that deadline? And so with this, maybe my son's getting married, my cousin's moving in. All right, and so that way we kind of have a desire. And then one more question. We typically, this all depends on your prices, by the way. We typically can't build a bathroom under $25K, a kitchen under $50K, a deck under $15K, and a basement under $55K. Does that work with your budget? Now, the reason we frame it as that is because if you just straight up ask them like, hey, what's your budget? One, they might ghost you. They might, shrivel up. It's kind of like a weird question to ask. And then another thing is they'll give you a way lower number than what they actually have in hand. And so that's why we frame it that way. And even if they say, geez, that's a little high, we can have the AI say, we totally understand that our price reflects our master craftsmanship. I'd be happy to offer that free budget and concept design so we can make sure it doesn't go over budget and, you can get a good idea of what your project's going to look like. All right. And so with those texts, we're also emailing them design guides, project guides about the team, customer awareness guides. And so it just goes with that, nurture sequence. And then we're also neutralizing your competitors. So the one-man bands, average contractor who is not qualified to do your project, the designers who really don't know anything about the build. They're just going to, pick out the furniture, draw pretty pictures. And then the architects where they're going to draw something that's going to be way out of your budget. And they're probably going to overcharge you, and, depending on what the architect costs per hour. And so that's how we really educate leads to value expertise over price. And so this is kind of what it looks like in Digital Favor for our clients and how we really get a high booking rate, above the industry average. So, sales agents calling them. And then on day 1, we're also sending them 2 texts and 2 emails on day 1. Day 2 to 7, 13 touch points, 7 to 30, 13 touch points. And then if they still don't respond, which most of them respond, it takes 8 touch points to book an appointment. Right here, I believe we're doing over 30. That's how we get that high booking rate. And then day 30 to 180, if they still haven't responded or booked an appointment, that's when they go into the long-term nurture sequence. And so with this nurture sequence, it's essentially, just one email every 14 days to keep you top of mind and battling those objections of going past deadline or going over budget. These emails are fun, witty. They're not like, hey, we're licensed and insured, book an appointment here. Here's one example. I'm not going to read all of it, but you can read this yourself and kind of see how some people maybe, they didn't respond for those first 30 days. They just ghosted you, but then they see this email, they call you up and be like, dude, I love your emails. Let's set up a time to chat. And so, yeah, you can read through that, copy it if you want. I don't care. And so just to kind of show you, we actually build these systems. This is what it looks like. I know this probably looks like Chinese to you, but it's just to kind of show that we actually do build these nurture and automation sequences to nurture your leads and actually book them on your calendar without you having to lift a finger. All right. And so now you know how to craft an offer so good that homeowners feel stupid saying no, how to use the most advanced social platforms on the planet to generate qualified leads under $35, and how to use our sales spree to save yourself and your employees 10 hours a week and have an AI and software hit the touch points for you. All right. So how can we get paid to do this? So we're going to be going over calculations here. So the idea of customer funded acquisition actually comes from Alex Hormozi, founder of Gym Launch, who taught gyms how to get your current customers to fund your marketing budget to get your next customer. All right. And so this whole idea eliminates, the idea of having a marketing budget, because you have the data to predictably track where you're going to get your next customer. And this is what we do as well. We track, how many leads turned into an appointment, how many appointments turned into a closed build contract. So that way we can predictably see, okay, every 20 or 30 leads, we're going to get a new project in. Or, I'm just spitting numbers off the top of my head, but you get the point. So, based off our data. And so I like to do worst case scenario. Let's say we suck, maybe you suck. It's just not a good month. So it's usually $30 to acquire a lead, but let's say it's just $60 for this month. And, usually 1 out of 3 leads that we generate for our clients turn into an appointment. But, let's say this month just sucks. It's 1 out of 5 leads turn into an appointment. And so let's say you show up to that appointment smelling bad, you're slipping on your words, you just can't close well, or you have like a high school kid closing it for you. And so you get a 10% closing rate. All right. So $60 times 5 equals $300 per appointment. And then 300 times 10 equals $3,000 to acquire a project. All right. $3,000 to acquire a project. That is worst case scenario. So if we're advertising for kitchens, bathrooms, and additions, this is what it's going to look like. For a bathroom, again, worst case scenario, 733% return on investment. Kitchen, $60K. I know most people's prices are a lot higher than that, even like over $100K. That would be a 1,900% ROI. A 200K addition, over 6,000% ROI. All right. And so you kind of get the idea here of customer funded acquisition, where now with that return on investment, you can put that to get your next, 3 projects, for example. All right. And as I mentioned, this is worst case scenario. All right. And so next we're going to go over building a brand and credibility. So advertising lets you have a terrible product and still make money. It lets you be terrible at sales and still make money. It lets you make a ton of mistakes and still make money. In short, having the skill gives you endless chances to get it right in an unforgiving world of business. All right. Second chances are hard to come by. And so that's a quote by Alex Hormozi, who made his fortune off advertising. And so that quote was just kind of go over what we've spoken about so far in terms of advertising, customer funded acquisition, and really the follow-up and nurture process. So let's pour gas on the fire by simultaneously building a brand and boosting credibility. So the first thing you can do after this video, if you take home anything, is you can gather up all your previous customers and clients who have bought your services and offer something special in return for leaving an honest Google review. Now, we should already know that reviews are important in business. If you go to Amazon and you see a product with 10,000 5-star reviews and a product with 4, it's pretty predictable which one you're going to pick. And the same, usually applies with remodeling services, especially with a cold stranger. So, why do we choose Google? Why not Houzz, Yelp, Nextdoor? The companies with the most positive reviews on Google rank the highest on Google My Business and Google Maps. So not only are you boosting credibility and separating yourself from the truck in the truck one-man bands, but as a side effect, you're also getting more inbound leads and calls every single month from those reviews. Because as a trend, people are finding you on Google, not through organic search, but through your Google My Business profile and Google Maps. So I just took this screenshot just to show you what comes up when I look up kitchen remodeling in McKinney, Texas. You got Houzz. You actually have one company, good for them, They probably have a killer SEO guy. You have Country Living, 23 beautiful, inspiring kitchen renovations, Bankrate, Home Depot, and HGTV. So as you'll see, they're not finding you through the organic search. They're actually finding you on Google My Business and Google Maps. So, and you'll see right here, this is one of my clients right here, 53 5-star reviews, and he's in the top 3 of Google My Business. And actually, it'll be top 2 because this person is running a Google ad. All right. And so this is all organic. So here's what we do for our clients, as we name it, the review blitz. So, you take your past client list who have never left a review, you upload the list into your CRM software, and you send out a text blast saying, first name. So it's going to be personalized. We can use your help. All of us at Joe Construction appreciate your business. We'd love to hear your feedback about our company and earn a few reviews on social media. Each person that leaves a 5-star review with a message within the next 7 days will be entered to win a $150 Amazon gift card. All right, we'll choose one winner and blah, 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 blah. You put the review link right here along with the Facebook. PS, if you leave on both, you'll be entered in twice. All right. And so from this Google review campaign, especially like I see some remodelers been in 20 years in business and have like 2 Google reviews. And it's kind of ridiculous. And you should just really have more than that. And so this is what we do. And to make sure that you don't get left a bad review, we actually put like a barrier. And so this is what that looks like. You'll see first, like, how would you rate us? So if they choose the smiley face, then they get brought onto Google and Facebook. But if they choose the meh or the sad face, then they get brought back to a feedback form. And so imagine if you have 200 past customers who haven't left a review, you convert, maybe 1 out of 4. Imagine 50 new 5-star Google reviews. Like, what would that do to your credibility? And what would that really do to your business? Because you're going to just rank super high. And so I hope you get the idea there. So, we can even do better. You can bite the bullet and start hiring a professional photographer to take beautiful pictures and videos of your finished project. All right. And it's usually cheaper than you think. And, the homeowner's perspective is, maybe they see you on Google, they go to your Instagram page, they do some research, they look at your projects because they're interested, and, they want to find someone who has good previous work. They go to your Instagram and see your last post was in 2017 of a halfway done project with a crappy iPod camera with your fingernail at the top right. Really consider them as good as gone. They're going to go to the person who has better credentials and somebody who's really up to date. And so, don't be lazy, separate yourself. And so that's really with building a brand and credibility. Now, the last part for adding 7 figures in annual projects to your remodeling company. And really, this strategy can generate 7 figures all by itself. I could get rid of every single other part of this video and just go over this, and you could still get to 7 figures. All right. So this is for positioning yourself for wealthy clientele. So having high-end realtors feed you referrals all year long. All right. For every one VIP realtor relationship you have the potential to generate $250K from them alone. All right. So why realtors in the first place? Why not, designers or architects? A Harvard study found that 60% of remodels happen within 2 years of a realtor transaction. Now, who touches realtor transactions? Realtors, right? And so there's a lot of opportunity here. So why don't we put ourselves in front of baller realtors and have them refer you to their clients whenever a renovation is needed? So you might be thinking like, I can't stand realtors. I don't want to work with them. Maybe you're one of those people who gave away like 20 free bids for a realtor and none of it turned into work. So to combat that, you can flip it on its head and use a tool like this, Repair Pricer, to get like instant estimates and have it ready in 10 to 30 minutes. So that when we bring our value to the table, we can say, we'll give you 24-hour turnarounds on your inspection reports, as well as providing free budget and concept design to your clients. All right. And so for the 24-hour inspection report, you can choose to charge, or you can choose to do it for free. You're going to get better results if you do it for free. Or you can say, I'll do it for free for the 6 month. And then, after 6 months, we can evaluate the partnership and go from there. And all they'll be thinking is, great, I'm getting, 6 months free, because a lot of them, they just want a reliable contractor to turn to take care of their clients. All right. So how to build your realtor network without added headache. So before artificial intelligence and software, the old way was walking into a brokerage's office or cold calling. Now, these strategies can still work, especially like walking into the brokerage's office and meeting with the lead broker there. But it's just, you're not able to pump out as much volume. You're reaching just like a few per day, or like cold calling, for example. I was speaking to one company, and they said out of 1,000 people they call, they close one realtor, which just sounds ridiculous to me. I would not want my employees doing that. And so I'm going to show you the more and new way. And really what we do at Digital Favor is this is what we do for our clients. We load up the realtors in your market and service area. We put that list into an email sending software and craft a 4-step email sequence that's personalized by AI. So it'll say their first name, it'll say their company name. And so it really looks personalized, really looks like you spent some effort into this email when in reality it was completely automated. All right. And so we mention our atomic offer and value stack in our initial email/pitch to the realtor. 24-hour inspection reports on bids, free budget and concept design, 3D designs, whatever your atomic offer is and what you bring to the table. All right. Have it run on autopilot. If they say go to hell, if they unsubscribe, it stops. But if they say they're interested or would love to meet up for coffee, then at Digital Favor, our clients get an automatic notification with the email conversation attached so that they can, set up that meeting for coffee. And kind of just to summarize this is Kevin right here, Remodeler in Medford, Massachusetts. All right. In the first month of running this campaign, he had 28 interested realtors who wanted to meet with him for coffee to chat about how they can help each other with their business. All right. And you'll see right here, the green is all the interested realtors right there. And you can kind of see the responses there. Kevin, happy to grab a coffee. I'm in, so-and-so. And so, yeah, it's crazy what we can do with automation and software. And actually, he wasn't even able to meet all these 28 realtors because it was just so much. But he was able to meet one, and that 30 days later, that turned into an addition job. And so, it's if you're not using this, definitely hop on the train before it gets burnt out, basically. And so from this video, you have two options. You can do this yourself. You can, learn paid ads. You can learn Facebook and Instagram and Google marketing. You can learn softwares such as Go High Level or the email sending software yourself, which that takes around, 6 hours a day for probably around 6 months, which you're probably going to age 10 times faster trying to figure out how to do all of this effectively, right? And that goes in between, juggling tasks such as site visits, meeting clients, making follow-ups would be impossible, And so there's also an opportunity cost of not doing this. You can continue using Angie, Thumbtack, House, be another subscriber in their system locked into a 12-month contract just to continue getting fake, shared, and tire-kicking leads. And, a funny thing one of my clients does is he actually goes on to Angie from time to time and he puts in fake information, completely fake leads, like John Doe, puts in a fake email, fake number, so that it slows his competition down because he knows that for every lead that comes in, a lot of those guys are getting charged automatically. All right. So you can continue doing that, never own your own system, continue to do manual follow-up yourself, continue allowing slippage from lead to booked appointment, allow your competitors to blitzkrieg all the VIP realtors in your area. So the only referral source you're left with is Nancy, the designer. Let your lack of social presence and lackluster content push you away from wealthy clientele. All right, you can do this. You can, go through this whole video again and learn all this yourself, or you can just not do it. Or, you can work with us and, you can completely automate your client acquisition from generating the leads to nurturing the leads, calling the leads, texting the leads, all the way to booked appointment, where all you have to do is just show up and close the deal. All right. And have the same proven ad frameworks that turns $1 spent into $267 and $15 to $35 leads. And that number right there, I'm not just spitting out. That's real numbers from what I spent in advertising for 2023 and what our clients have generated in projects from that amount in advertising. It's actually probably more than this because not all my clients tell me when they get a new project that was generated from me. All right. But, we'll just go with that number. So this is kind of the 4-step lead generation system to be installed into your business for you. So this is like what you get when you first come into Digital Favor. You get the done for you lead gen campaign setup and optimization, the project calculator landing page build out, the remodel quiz build out, email marketing, the 6-month wildfire sales spree follow up, the realtor power partner campaign, the done for you CRM, whether you use Go High Level or Digital Favor build out, which we give our software for free to our clients. You have the automated appointment booking, AI lead nurture, Google My Business optimization, reputation management and review gathering. All right, reactivation campaigns, custom offer formulation, content strategy, a live chat if you need it. And then also if you're juggling a lot of tasks, we'll also offer our qualified American-based sales agents. And then, of course, 24/7 unlimited support. And by the way, guys, this is all set up within 4 days of joining Digital Favor. As I mentioned before, speed is everything when it comes to the value equation. I couldn't just tell you that and not implement it myself. So I try to practice what I preach. And so what do you need to do? Be a general contractor, remodeler, design builder that offers residential construction services. Show up to your site visits and close deals. Meet up with realtors who are interested in partnering with you. All right. That's all you need to be. Now, what you need to do is after this, there will be probably a button below or a calendar below where you can schedule a short 30-minute call with me. And so that way I can look at your current strategy, what's working, maybe what needs improvement. And then we can see if this whole system and us in general will be a good fit for you. All right. And so I look forward to speaking with you soon. Hopefully you got some value out of this. But other than that, I'll see you later.